Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to Worth Old Coin Value, where we uncover the hidden stories, surprising history, and incredible values of America's most fascinating coins. Today, we're diving into a coin that millions of Americans have seen, spent, and forgotten about. A coin that sat in cash registers, piggy banks, dresser drawers, and family collections for decades. Most people glance at it and see only 50 cents. But collectors know that sometimes the most ordinary-looking coins can hide extraordinary secrets. The coin we're talking about is the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar. At first glance, it may not seem special. After all, millions were produced, and many still survive today. But the story behind this coin is far more fascinating than most people realize. To understand why the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar matters, we have to travel back to one of the most emotional moments in American history. In November of 1963, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated, shocking the nation and the world. Americans mourned deeply, and within months, the United States Mint began creating a new half-dollar coin to honor the fallen president. The Kennedy half-dollar was introduced in 1964 and quickly became one of the most beloved coins ever produced by the United States Mint. People didn't want to spend them. Instead, they saved them as keepsakes and symbols of remembrance. As the years passed, the coin continued to evolve. By 1971, a major change had taken place. Earlier Kennedy half-dollars contained silver, but rising silver prices forced the government to remove silver from regular circulation coins. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar became the first circulating Kennedy half-dollar struck entirely without silver. That fact alone makes the coin historically important. It marked the beginning of a new era in American coinage. The United States was moving away from precious metal coins and into the modern age of copper and nickel compositions. Millions of these coins were produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Because of the large production numbers, many people assume every 1971 Kennedy half-dollar is common and inexpensive. But experienced collectors know better. The truth is that rarity doesn't always come from low mintage. Sometimes rarity comes from condition. Sometimes it comes from minting mistakes. And sometimes it comes from tiny details that most people overlook. Imagine finding a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar in an old jar of coins inherited from a parent or grandparent. To the average person, it's just another old coin. But a trained collector immediately begins examining the surfaces, the strike quality, the lettering, and the smallest imperfections. Why? Because those details can mean the difference between 50 cents and thousands of dollars. Collectors especially search for exceptional examples that survived in pristine condition. Coins that escaped circulation wear and retained their original mint luster are much harder to find than many people realize. The higher the grade, the more desirable the coin becomes. Then there are mint errors. Throughout American coin history, minting mistakes have created some of the most valuable collectibles ever discovered. Off-center strikes, doubled dies, planchet errors, and other unusual production mistakes can transform an ordinary coin into a treasure. The excitement comes from not knowing what's out there. Every year, collectors continue searching through old collections, estate sales, bank rolls, and forgotten boxes in attics. They know that remarkable discoveries can still happen decades after a coin was first released. What makes the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar particularly interesting is that many examples remain hidden in private hands. Unlike some older coins that have been thoroughly studied for generations, countless Kennedy half-dollars are still sitting unnoticed in family collections across America. That possibility fuels the dream of discovery. Perhaps a grandfather saved a roll decades ago and never opened it. Maybe a forgotten coin album is tucked away in a closet. Or maybe an unusual mint error has escaped attention for years, waiting for someone with a careful eye to recognize its significance. For many collectors, that sense of mystery is what makes coin collecting so rewarding. A coin is more than metal. It is a piece of history you can hold in your hand. It connects us to a specific moment in time. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar represents a changing America, a changing economy, and a continuing tribute to one of the nation's most remembered presidents. When collectors hold one, they're not simply looking at 50 cents. They're looking at a historical artifact that has traveled through more than half a century of American life. And that journey is what makes these coins so captivating. The next time you come across a Kennedy half-dollar, don't dismiss it. Take a closer look. Examine the date. Study the details. Check the condition. Look for anything unusual. Because history has shown that incredible discoveries often begin with a coin everyone else ignored. And now for the value that gets collectors excited. A typical circulated 1971 Kennedy half-dollar is usually worth only a modest premium over face value. Higher-grade uncirculated examples can command significantly more from collectors. Rare varieties and valuable mint errors can reach hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars depending on their rarity and condition. But in the world of coin collecting, extraordinary discoveries can rewrite the record books. The most exceptional, unique, and historically important examples associated with this series have inspired valuations reaching an astonishing $4.2 million. That's why collectors never stop searching. Because somewhere, in a forgotten drawer, an old collection, or a family inheritance, the next remarkable discovery could still be waiting to be found. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Worth Old Coin Value, and join us for more hidden treasures, fascinating coin histories, and unbelievable values that might be closer than you think.